Hello and welcome back again. My name is Alex16 and today, welcome back to Katawa Shoujo. Woo! So as you guys should know, last episode we left off at this little stage right here where we was talking to Emmy, getting ready to start trying to find out her problems. Yay! So let's begin and continue. Then again, it's awfully hard to get angry while in bed with the object of your affections. So maybe there's that motivation too. I set Emmy's leg by the bedside and sit down next to her, throwing an arm around her shoulders. In silence, we just enjoy being able to be in this position again for a few minutes. Then, of course, I need to ruin it by opening my mouth. Look, I know that you've been having a kind of a rough time of it lately, and I really want to help you out. I thought it was just the exams getting to you, but now I come to your room and you've been crying, and that kills me. But I can't do anything if you won't talk to me about it. I told you I'm fine. No, you ain't. And it's obvious something is eating at you. You can tell me. You know. There's a slightest increase in tension in Emmy's voice. Why is my saying I'm fine not good enough? You're concerned. I get that. That's cool. But I'm fine. It's nothing that you need to worry about. Not sleeping and spacing out more than Rin doesn't strike me as being fine. I just want to help. Uh-huh. Yeah, and I don't like seeing you like this. I want you to be happy, you know? I get the feeling that came out wrong, because Emmy fixes me with an icy stare. So you want to fix me, Ishino. She's definitely getting angry now. Want to swoop in on your white charger and save the day? Stop the nightmares. The phantom limb pains? Restore what's lost? Her voice catches in her throat and tears start to flow. Well, you can't. Nobody can. Nobody will. I'm so stunned by her sudden verbal assault that I remain quiet. Neither of us says anything for a while. I'm surprised that Emmy tightens her grasp on me rather than pushing me away. After a deep breath, she starts talking again. Look, I'm sorry. There's these nightmares about the accident. The accident, I should have known. It took her legs, after all. But it never comes up, of course. And I usually deal with them fine, but because I can run. Running clears my head like nothing else. I don't have to worry about anything else. While I'm running, I just concentrate on breathing, on the rhythm of things. It's easier that way. Life's easier that way. Just keep moving forward, you know? Nothing else matters. Just getting around the next curve. And then it's the next curve, and the next, and the next. Until I can't go anymore. Or think anymore. Or do anything but slow down and walk until I catch my breath again. After something like that, nothing else matters. But I've been stuck in that goddamn wheelchair for too long, so no outlet. The day's just kinda boiled over a little. You could have talked to me about it, you know. Didn't have to go all alone. Emmy smiles sadly. She's trying to explain to a child that all fires burned. Yeah, I did, and I do. But why? Why did you have to keep going through this alone? Why can't you just trust me enough to let me help you? That smile again. Emmy leans in and kisses me on the cheek, an almost motherly gesture. She leaves her mouth closed to my ear as she confesses this one thing to me. Because, Ishino, I've already had everything I knew ripped away from me once. I don't know what I'll do if it happened again. She pauses as if uncertain as to whether or not she could continue. I can feel a violent churning in my gut. She continues. So I can't rely on you, or the nurse, or anyone else. Just me. That's how it's going to be. Having delivered this sort of speech, she looks down and covers her mouth with the back of her hand. The conversation is clearly over. I search for something to say, but I can't think of anything. Maybe I should go for now. I've got stuff. Emmy doesn't even look up. She sounds tired or relieved. I can't tell which. Okay, Ishino. Go take care of that stuff. I'll see you tomorrow. I get off the bed and head for the door, pausing at the doorway. Hey, Emmy? Yeah? A thousand things I want to say. I'm too mixed up to say any of them, though. After her admitting that she'll never let me close, I feel like my world has just been ripped out from me. What happened in that accident? I know she lost her legs, but that doesn't seem to bother her. What happened there? What scares me so badly that she won't accept help, even from someone she loves? I don't know, but I want to know. I want to know so badly that being denied that answer feels like a knife in my gut. I'm guessing because she said that she lost something or someone, and she clearly doesn't really give two fucks about the leg part, as Ishino said. She probably lost a bit, like, family or something. She probably lost someone. I'm guessing it's going to be the father, because we know her mother. Her mother is fine, we've seen her. And I can't remember if the mother says anything about the father. I'm having a blank, because I can't remember that far back. But I think it might be the father. Maybe he died. Hishino, you were saying? I'm still standing in the doorway. Nothing. Never mind. And I'm closing the door. And I'm walking down the hallway. Down the stairs. Out the door. Into the dark. Somehow I wander back to my own room. My brains are doing a mile a minute. Going nowhere fast. I can't figure how to deal with this. I thought that moving forward was a good thing. Dwelling on the past that I can't change. Living in the present and looking at the future. After this, things with Emmy, I'm not sure anymore. She's been saying the truth. It's simple to look at the next curve, ignoring the path gone by. No worries about the opponent left behind. No care for the spectators on the sidelines. Unfortunately, no time to watch out for the lagging teammates either. I throw myself down on the bed, looking at one corner of the ceiling as if the answers I want were written there. No such luck, of course. She's literally running away from something. But I've not been doing the same thing. I'm trying to forget about my hospitalization. I'm getting better, but my health isn't going to magically fix itself. Amy has 2 legs instead of a heart to deal with. But those ain't going to magically fix themselves either. Maybe this is just as fixed as we're both gonna get. The room becomes darker and darker until I can't really tell I'm looking at a corner anymore. Well, losing 2 fucking legs it's a lifetime thing. Having a heart that can eventually fix itself is something that is temporarily. Even though he can't, well, it won't be ever fixed forever, but you can get it to a point where it's not as much of a big as a problem. At least that's what the nurse has been saying, I think. I can't remember. I think the idea is that his heart can eventually become like strong enough to cope with a lot of big things again, depending on how fit and healthy he is. But obviously it won't go back to like a normal heart would be, but you know. This is how Emmy's been spending her nights. Staring at the wall or ceiling, trying to stop thinking about whatever it is. Her, in my case, that clenched feeling in my gut is still there. I can't rely on you. Words spoken so casually. Almost like she were teasing me, or tracing me for the suggesting that the earth is flat. That's how it's going to be. That way it's got to be. Sucks. I'm feeling so miserable that I very nearly decide to skip the run. That would be stupid though. It's not something I should do to her. It's not something I should do just to see her. Sure, that was the original reason, but it's something more now. I've started to enjoy the running itself. These are worse days to get the blood throwing anyway. Never thought I would say it after the first week or so, but I feel a little better after a run. No matter what else I do today, at least done one thing. I've done at least one thing. It wakes me up too, and Emmy herself said that running always clears her mind. Maybe it'll help clear mine. I hope so. The morning is cool and clear, if a bit humid. Summer's making itself known at least. Emmy's already stretching out when I arrive, and greets me with a smile and a wave. Hey Ishno. The sight of her is so chipper that it's like a kick in the nuts. How can she be so happy after yesterday? I give a half wave and surprised to receive a hug. Hey, about last night? Here it comes. I wanted to say thanks. I actually managed to get some sleep for the first time in a while. And I think it's because of our talk. So thanks. How could she sleep better after our chat? She basically told me that she wouldn't get any closer to me. And that let her sleep well. Excuse me, but what the hell? Emmy either doesn't notice my bafflement or chooses not to notice. No telling with her anymore. Ah, no problem. Glad it helped. The venom that strengthens the drip into my voice is controlled for now. But I think I'll better start running now before I do anything stupid. Emmy seems quite willing to get started before long we start darting around the track. I can tell she feels more relaxed. Her running has gone back to the more graceful movements I remember from when I first watched her. It's a stark contrast to almost the brutal way she's been hurling herself around the track these past few days. Our talk really does seem to have helped her. A pity it couldn't help me. I get into the rhythm of running, thinking back to when I couldn't afford thinking about anything else but keeping my breathing steady and moving legs. I guess those days are gone. At least for the first couple of laps. Annoyed at the lack of success I'm having with clearing my head, I increase the pace. And there's the burning sensation in my legs. The breaths come ragged into my chest and pounding of my heart, which I still need to be careful about. But it seems to have gotten stronger. I can feel it, pumping my blood through my veins. The sounds thump in my ears, but instead of being panicked as I was that day in the snow, I'm instead filled with elation. Yes, it's working. My heart, that fatal flaw that landed me here, has improved. I'm able to keep going now. Maybe one more day and I'll be able to stop worrying as much. Right now, it doesn't matter that I have no idea what to do about Emmy and me. All that matters is my arms and legs continue to bump in concert with one another. Nothing else. As I hit the final stretch, I remind myself that running really does help. Though not as much as I hoped. I do feel better, and I walk a few laps to cool down. I begin to remember last night in a slightly less emotional manner. Emmy wants me to stay distant from her. I can't bring myself to do so. There's got to be a way around this. Some kind of middle ground that I can reach. Not sure what that middle ground is, though. Damn, I was almost feeling optimistic. Nice one, Hishno. You really improved. Nice run. That's all I can hope for now, isn't it? Congratulations, Hishno. You're pathetic. I've got to change my attitude. Well, you know, I am pretty awesome. And yet I keep saying things that I don't mean. Any second now, I'll be as good as hiding my problems as Emmy is. I like to think so. Why does she do this to me? Something like that, with such real affection in her voice, that it makes my heart sleep. She doesn't mean it. She can't. I must be doing a worse job than I thought, because Emmy peers closely at me. Hey, you feeling okay? Maybe we should get to the nurse, huh? Yeah, I hate to kneel over on you. Emmy looks a little shocked at my bitter tone. Don't say things like that. You've already done it once before, you know. Why does she act so affectionate? She doesn't really care. I thought she made that clear. But beside all that, I found myself apologising, even though I shouldn't have to. Even though she's probably just putting on an act. Sorry. Come on, let's see the nurse. I can't get myself to calm down the whole time. Every time it feels like I've gotten over what happened last night, Emmy does something or says something that shows affection. And I'm back to the beginning. The image of her ending that conversation haunts me. It was like the final twist of a knife that left me feeling before of any hope that Emmy and I could be more than what we are. And what are we at this point? Little more than friends who happen to fuck. And really, it's not like I didn't enjoy the whole time I spent with her. Said so the other day myself. I very nearly didn't even bring anything up with her. Was just going to hop on in there and let it ride, wasn't I? With this running through my head, I find myself in front of the nurse's office, still brooding as he checks out Emmy. Emmy comes bounding out the door, gives me a kiss and darts off to the shower. I assume. Meanwhile, the nurse beckons me into his office and gives me the rune once over. Any problems today? Nah, I've been pushing it a little harder today than I have in the past, and it seems able to handle it. That's uncharacteristically risky coming from you, Ishno. You've been hanging out with Emmy too much. She's rubbed off on you. And not necessarily in a good way. As the mention of Emmy's name, I can't help but throw an unhappy spite in my efforts as control. Well now, this is new, don't you think? Last I checked, your usual response to Emmy's name was a grin, not a frown. What exactly happened between you two? Because Emmy doesn't seem to be in on it, whatever it is. She looked more relaxed than I've seen her in weeks, which is unusual for this time of the year. What do you mean by that? By what? For this time of the year. I've been trying to find out what's been bothering her, but she clams up as soon as I broach the subject. Then last night let me guess. She won't tell you because she says she can't trust you. And now you're crushed because you thought that the two of you were so much more than she seemed to think, right? More or less. How the heck did you know? Ishno, I'm the nurse. It's my job to know these things. Plus, I've known Emmy for long enough to know that she'll try to do something like this. It's just like her. He says this in the sort of half-affectionate, half-frustrated tone that seems more appropriate if he had a cigarette dangling from his lips. As it is, he seems willing to make do with a pen. Look, do you mind if I give you some advice? No, this is my problem. Sure. What was it Mistro said yesterday? If you can't observe the thing, then observe what's around it. Worth a shot. That's true, Ishnim. The nurse knows Emmy better than I do, I wager. Sure, I'm open to suggestions. Honestly, I'm kind of lost. I've got no idea how to deal with this. I never would have guessed. He grins as he says this. I think he's kidding. Look, here's the deal with Emmy. Emmy is stubborn. You should know this by now, and if you don't, then you're pretty unobservant. But I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt here. I'm so grateful. Anyway, if she's decided that she doesn't want to talk about what happened, then she's not going to talk about what happened. Has she said anything about what's been bothering her? Even a hint? Well, she did say that she's been having nightmares about the accident. Really? Then you're making progress then, huh? That's good. Well, I guess I can fill you in on this without violating my strict non-conference policy when it comes to Emmy making stupid decisions. The anniversary of her accident is coming up soon. She gets depressed around this time because it was a pretty traumatic event, considering what she lost. What's the other thing? She acted like she lost more than just her legs. What happened? Whoa. Nope. Not going there. You have to ask someone else about that, because that whole can of worms I'm not about to open. If Emmy wants you to know, she'll tell you in her own time. You've got to be patient, that's all. Why are you even helping with all this? Because you're good for her. She trusts you, even if you don't think she does. And you've got the best chance of anyone at this school right now to help her through this time of year. She won't accept my help, she might accept yours if you don't screw it up. So don't screw it up. Got it? I open my mouth to respond, but a knocking door interrupts me. Hey, you guys still in there? Just a moment, Emmy. Give us a second to get our pants back on. The door busts open and Emmy glances knives at the nurse. Arsehole. Didn't mean to get your hopes up. Hey, can we leave me out of this? Anyway, what's up, Emmy? Forget something. I tried to take a more cheerful tone with her. No need to upset her. Two can play at the everything's fine game. Actually, I've got to ask you something. Oh, what's that? Do you want to come with me on the trip to my house? My mum's making dinner and I thought you might want to join us. Well, of course I accept. She punches the nurse in the arm playfully. Not you, idiot. You were over last week. I was talking to Hishno. Oh, how interesting. Meeting the parent. I'd love to go, Emmy, thanks. The Emmy raises an eyebrow, but says nothing. Great. I'll be in my room. Swing by after you shower and change into something clean, and we'll go and grab the bus. Sounds good. I'll see you in a bit. This time it's me who leans in for a quick kiss before darting off to my room. What an interesting development. Maybe we're getting closer after all. Maybe Emmy's finally ready to open up a little. Or maybe she's just being polite, and a free meal seems like a good way to apologize for last night. Great. Now I can't decide whether to be excited, nervous, or depressed. Well, that's where I'm going to end it. Interesting. And I know I've done this bit before because I did record a little bit. It was actually just before this episode I ended. I think I got to the house and that's where I got to originally. I can't remember though. I think that's where I got to originally. Might be wrong though. But either way, I can't remember anything. And I know I did go onto a bad route with Emmy. But I can't remember what options I picked. So that's going to be fun. See if I actually do the bad route again. That's if it was a bad route. I'm not too sure. I might have to find that out. Anyway, guys, hope you've all enjoyed today's episode. As always, do the normal YouTube stuff, and I will see you all next time. Till then, peace out.